I touch you. Now, here's the interesting thing about the story, is that Jesus stops now to engage in conversating with this woman. Now, this woman is happy, but Jairus got to have a problem, because I just said to you, Jairus' daughter is at the point of death. Jairus don't get time for Jesus now to engage in a conversation with this. You're blessed, move on, move out, let us move on, because I need Jesus to come to my house. Can't you imagine? There comes a time in your life when you want to celebrate with folks because they are blessed, but you say, I'm glad for you, I'm happy, but I need Jesus to come to my house today. I can't come to the party, I can't come to the fete, I can't stay and celebrate with. I need to carry Jesus up so that he can get to mine. And so Jesus now is speaking with this woman. He is held up. The woman hold him up. And so now it appears that for a brief moment, Jairus, who went to Jesus, who petitioned Jesus, who prayed and said, Jesus, I need you to stop by here. It appears as though his blessing is delayed. Have you ever been at a point in your life when you've been praying, you've been fasting, you've been seeking God, and it seems as though God just ain't coming through? But the thing is that the lady with the blood is being delivered, Billy down the road is being delivered, Mary up the road is being touched, the one over here. But you and God, when are you going to come to me? You know that you begin praying before Billy, praying before Bobby, but it seems as though God have delayed coming to your house. You've been praying, you've been fasting, you've been wondering, God, what in the world? Can't you see? I can see Jairus. Can't you? He's in a hurry saying, Jesus, let's go. But the interesting thing about the text is that his adrenaline is pumping and his metabolic rate is hasting on. Jesus stops. Engages with this woman and talks with this woman. This story is very interesting. After Jesus is finished with this lady and now is about to continue on to Jairus' house, the Bible says someone from Jairus' house met them and say, you might as well forget it. You might as well leave Jesus alone, because now your daughter is dead. Jairus' situation when he left home was bad. He got to Jesus. He talked with Jesus. Jesus says, I'm coming. But Jesus was busy blessing everybody else. And Jairus' situation went from bad to worse. Jairus had hope that that Jesus would be able to do something if he got there when his daughter was because there is a little bit of life in her. Jairus had heard how he had healed the blind man. He had heard how Jesus had healed the paralyzed man. He had heard how Jesus had healed the leopard. And so he believed that if Jesus can come when she's alive, he can heal her body. And if he heals her body, it will turn around. But sometimes God will wait till it get worse before he show up, so that he can show you that he can more than heal the blind. He can more than cleanse the leopard. He can more than give strength to the lame. He can do greater things. And so Jairus' situation, got worse. This reminds me of a story in the gospel, a familiar story, and it is with Mary and Martha. See the similarity? It is with Mary and Martha. Lazarus is sick. He is at the point of death, and they send for Jesus. Jesus, come quick. The one you love is sick. What they were saying, if you love him, you come. Jesus, if you love the one you love, he is sick. Come. I believe you can. But the Bible says that Jesus loved Lazarus, and because he loved him, he stayed for. How in the world you can tell me that you love me and I'm sick, but you still can stay 4 Jesus stayed further days. And because Jesus stayed, Mary and Martha's situation went from bad to worse. So much so that when Jesus showed up, Lazarus is dead and in the grave. Both Martha and Mary said the same thing when they come in the presence of Jesus. Jesus, if you had been here, and they were women, so I can imagine, Jesus, if you had been here, what they were saying, it's your fault. You didn't show up when I called you. You didn't come when I really needed you. Jesus, if you had been here, how many of us have questioned the love of God and said, God, why you didn't show up when Billy was just about to give trouble? Why you wait until the trouble have escalated? God, if you showed up just when my health began to deteriorate, you waited now until things have become its worst. God, if you'd have show up when I call you first, I believe that my brother would have still been alive, but now it's gone from bad to worse. Let me show you how bad the situation had gotten and how impossible the fixing the situation looked. It looked so impossible to fix that when Jesus got to Jairus' house, and Jesus got there and Jesus declared, Jesus said, she's not dead, she's alive. The folks look at Jesus and laugh. Because they said, Jesus, you got to be. Come on. The doctors done been here. They done pronounce dead. The mother done begin to make the funeral arrangement because they didn't hold you long like how we do. She don't begin to make the funeral arrangement. They don't get the casket. They don't get the various flowers that you put on. They don't get all the stuff together. He said, Jesus, this girl dead. And so that is how impossible the situation looked to them. But I want you to know that when things have gotten bad to you, you got to be able to see things from a different perspective and see it from the way God sees it. And so everybody is seeing a dead situation. Everybody's seeing that you will never come back. Everybody is seeing that your situation can't fix. Everybody's seeing that there can be a turnaround in your life. And even you have bought into the idea that you can't come back. But God stepped in and said, this girl ain't dead. That your situation ain't as bad as it look. And I've come to tell somebody that you got to come to a point in your life where you believe the report over the Lord, over what your sensual faculties begin to say to you or what you observe thereby. You got to begin to come to a point in your life where you believe the report of God over what others are saying and say, though she look dead, though this situation look like it can't fix, though it look like I'll never come back, though it's gone from bad to worse, though it look like it will not get better, I believe that God has said that He is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all you can ask. And so when they said she's dead, the first thing Jesus did, because Jairus, hearing this information, Jairus went from sad to happy to depression for a brief moment, because he is sad that his daughter's at the point of death, but he got a ray of hope because he's going to Jesus. Jesus said, I'm coming. Your daughter is dead. Jairus' life was like a roller coaster. She was taking this ride. And so Jesus now knows that in the midst of a midnight experience, what he needs to do to enable you to survive.